The full moon in your dream is you.
Moon Story. Imagine a mammoth glowing pearl filling the night sky over a jagged cornfield, illuminating black shadows near your mountain home. Translucent blue velvet clouds drifting past the white light slowly. Transparent like jellyfish, swan's wings, or a cat's eye. The iris, a sliver of moon glow, staring down through your window, sly and feminine, smiling, knowing. As you sleep, these memories bring your feet to clay craters, and you simply stand in awe. That is the mother, says your witch doctor. The full moon in your dream is you.
Hello and welcome to Lunar Conversation number 5, Moon Story. And thank you so much, Katie Bull, for writing these beautiful words for this poem, for this song, and for setting us up right for this conversation. Before we do anything else, I just want to send my warmest wishes and love to everyone in the Israel-Palestine region. My heart is with you today. I am waiting for the moment when peace is going to be there. I believe it can be there. Like John Lennon said, war is over if you want it. And I hope we start wanting it soon and, make a shift in that very precious piece of land. On to our subject today. We are here under the new moon of May, starting the flower moon, which will be eclipsed and at its fullest moment. But we won't let that eclipse hold us back from celebrating the flowers and spring and creation. And the first thing I want to do is share with you a really special announcement about the future of the Orchard of Pomegranates. So here it is. I hope you will join me on this new adventure. How I love playing with you at the Orchard of Pomegranates. During this past year, at our vocal intensives, we have been singing together, improvising making together, weird engaging sounds with together, found objects, tapping into our ancestry, songwriting, creative graphic writing, scoring, moving, painting, body percussion, and most importantly, we've been coming together as a community of creatives that gathers from so many parts of this world. Now, the Orchard's intensives are becoming annual, and that's a really long time between playdates. So I've decided to build us a home right at the center of the orchard where we can gather and play, and this home will also provide us stability and sustainability and shelter and nourishment. There is so much I want to tell you about this new Patreon home for the orchard, and I will do that at a separate Zoom meeting that I will set up, and that will be announced on our Facebook page and in my newsletter. So if you're not on the Facebook group for the Orchard of Pomegranates, please feel free to join that. And if you're not on my newsletter, please feel free to join that. But today, I really want to tell you about the very first offering I'm bringing to you through this Patreon home. It feels like a housewarming party. I will be co-facilitating a 5-week workshop every Tuesday in June with the amazing composer and multidisciplinary artist, Juliet Palmer. There will be little prompts between our sessions. So this workshop will kind of follow you during this month of June. And eventually, the works that we're going to be creating in this workshop will be part of Juliet's larger work that's called the Homing Project. I will pass it on to Juliet to tell you a little bit more about this work that we will be bringing to you this June through the very new Orchard of Pomegranates Patreon page.
Hi, I'm Julia Palmer. I'm a composer and interdisciplinary artist based in Toronto. Like many people, I've spent much of the past year close to home. That's why I'm excited to invite you to join me in a series of creative vocal workshops this June called Sing Around the House. I'll be leading these workshops with the wonderful vocalist and composer Ayelet Rose Gottlieb. We'll explore 4 different spaces in the house as sites of shelter, challenge, sustenance, safety, risk, and pleasure. Join us online where we'll share memories, sounds, stories, images, and movement, finding new ways to make music together. What's especially exciting about this series is that what we make together will be woven into an audio collage with choreography by Aria Evans. Sing Around the House is part of a large multidisciplinary production, The Homing Project, which will be presented by Urban Vessel both online and at Toronto's Brickworks Park. To sign up for the workshop series, visit Orchard of Pomegranates. You can also find out more by visiting urbanvessel.com. I look forward to meeting you and sounding and listening together.
So, yay, Julie. I'm so glad you're excited. And Gretchen, thank you. And Jennifer, yay. So glad to get this feedback from you. I'm really excited about it. I think we're going to have such an amazing time together at the Orchard's new home. And now, without further ado, I would love to invite DB Boyko, my partner in this creation. Happy birthday, DB!
Hello.
Hello.
I have flowers because it is the flower moon.
It is, and it's your birthday.
Mm-hmm. It is.
So
and everything
flowers for DB.
smells amazing.
We both have lilacs, don't we?
Mm-hmm. Lilacs and dogwood and things that I don't even know what they are. Tulips. Yeah.
And they lit a candle for you also. Do you want to make a wish?
Oh. Yeah, okay. I'll try to make it an
I'll blow it for
instantaneous
you.
wish. And, okay, I'm ready. Thank you.
All right. Let's invite our good friend and incredible bass player, Stefan Diamantacue, to join us as well.
Hey.
Hello, Stefan.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
It's so good to see you here with us for the first time.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah. So, Shall we start by just getting to know you a bit, Stéphane? Where are you at right now?
I'm trying to do some project with a new association, a new organization I made with friends, and a label called Corne de Brume. It's a new organization for creative music. It's in Lanaudière in Quebec, and yeah, it's nice. I mean, it's like building a new community and having friends, like making music and trying to do the records we want to hear and we want to see. So there's a lot of people involved in the graphism and the sound, and yeah. So
what's the first thing that's going to be released on it, and when can we expect it?
The first release was Ivan Nonet.
Oh, cool.
The band with Ivan Bamford, the drummer, my friend also. It's so 9 musicians playing the music of Thomas Chapin, unreleased, that Terry Callington Chapin that gave us the score of Thomas, who were in the drawer. So it was a big challenge for us, and we're happy with the record. And there's other stuff. There's Cédric Den Lavoie putting a record on some old song, Québécois songs that he rebuilt something around old recordings of traditional Québécois. So,
nice. I want to hear that, and I also want to hear the originals because I don't think I know them.
Yeah, it's only in the bibliothèque. So he went really deep into the old recordings, and just building new music on old samples of traditional Québécois. So yeah, it's also a nice record, and we have a record with Géraldine Aiguileuse coming in autumn also, and yes, some exciting.
Super exciting.
Stuff.
So there's so much going on.
Yeah. A new choir also.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Choir in the days of Corona.
Yeah. That's challenging. Making a new organization during, it was time to do something, and yeah, it was the time to. We did the creation by Zoom or almost, of the Corne de Brume. And we spent 1 year talking about the Corne de Brume stuff, and now it's alive. It's crazy.
That's really exciting, Stéphane.
So it's Corne de Brume, and you can see the website, and the records are on Bandcamp also. So you can check it out.
So we'll put a little banner up later. We'll deal with making it while the video is playing. I should have thought of it before. But we're also going to be playing live together really soon, eh?
Yeah, really exciting about this one.
Yeah.
It will be the first time for me in Victo, and it's so nice. Nice festival there. Great people playing there. It's going to be a big reunion of musicians. It's going to be a party, to see each other in a long time. So yeah, I'm very happy to share the stage with and to play this beautiful music with you. So
thank you. Yeah, I'm excited too. It's a first for me as well, and the first gig in 15 months for me. It's like kind of unbelievable. I don't think there's ever, maybe since I was a child, I don't think there was that kind of a long period without playing live music.
Yeah.
So it's nice. It's definitely nice. And DB will be missing you a lot.
Yeah.
And the full, the full thing. And we'll get there too.
Yeah. It's coming. Yeah.
Do you guys want to see the new video for Moonstory?
Absolutely.
So we're gonna hear a little bit from Adam, who is the filmmaker who made the video. She made it with me. We co-directed and co-edited it. And Stéphane, I don't think you've seen this footage.
No. It's gonna be
since we made since we made the album. So there's some surprises in store for you.
Okay.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Hello, my name is Adam, and I work as a co-director and co-editor for the project. For me, the project was all about collaboration and just figuring out ways that we could all work together as a team. We really focused on sharing and pulling together our knowledge and thoughts to try and create something. The process of making the video had its challenges, but we were able to persevere, even through B's. And then for the post-production, editing brought its own new set of tasks, but I'm glad we were able to see a conclusion. So thank you to the team and Ayelet, and it was really awesome being a part of this project.
Imagine a mammoth glowing pearl filling the night sky over a jagged cornfield. Illuminating black shadows near your mountain home. Lord, I felt
sliver of moon blue, staring down through your window, sly and feminine, as you sleep. These memories bring your feet to great craters, and you simply stand in awe. That is the mother, says your witch doctor. The full moon in your dream is you. Thank you so much for your comments. Hi, Susanna.
I'm not hearing anything.
Oh no.
Huh. I heard the video.
Susanna Wood is
I'm
with
not
us.
hearing you.
I don't know.
That's awkward.
Did you hear the video?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
They do not know what to do. This is why showing up for the technical rehearsal is important.
Maybe, Laura, do you want
I'm going to try unplugging my headphones. Maybe
Okay.
that will make a difference. Can
How
you
about
say
now?
something?
Can you hear something now?
No, I still can't hear you.
Okay. Laura, do you want to pull Susanna out and in again? And maybe you can figure it out in the back. Thank you. StreamYard has all these magic tricks, and yet it also is complicated. But, you know, it's the first time you're seeing this, I think, Stefan, right?
Yeah, it's very nice. Yeah, I really like it. It's I remember that we filmed some stuff in the session, but it's fun to see that again and include it in the suspended time of the the video and the dance. It's yeah, I really like it. It's congratulations. It's very nice.
I love seeing your playing. I love seeing, you know, because I wasn't looking at the footage until we made the video, and to see you playing, and sometimes these little sounds that I love
hearing, and just to see that you're playing really high up on the neck and things like that really shape, I feel, the sound that you're creating.
Yeah, I didn't remember exactly what it was filmed at the time. Just the improvisation of the song.
They filmed in real time. If you recall, they just filmed that day, and it happened to be the take that we used. Luckily enough.
Yeah, but I really like the entire album, and the song is very special for me. Yeah, because at first it was I think the first song, on the record, and it was a certain responsibility, and it was like, how can I say that? Just understand the full idea of the moon and all the poems and everything into sound. For me, just with the bass, how the bass can bring something like to the idea of the moon and the concept.
Yeah, I have a feeling on our gig we will start with this one. What do you think? Feel up to it? I think it would be nice. I think there's something about this song. GB, what do you think? I think there's something about this song that really brings you in, even though when we were playing with the order for the album, it suddenly didn't feel right on a recording to start so soft. We felt like it might be confusing for people if they're not listening on a high volume. But I think there's something so beautiful about starting this way. There's such intimacy in your solo up front, just this solo bass.
It's a beautiful duo. I'm going in and out of muting because there's some background noise that I wasn't anticipating here. Yeah, I love this piece. And I think Ayelet, you and I moved this around a few times. I'm going to just mute myself.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
That's perfect.
Yeah, we moved it. Yeah, it is. It's perfect. Exactly.
And now I'm back for a moment. But anyways, yeah, I do love this piece. And I had forgotten that it does end with the beginning of the choir. It's lovely to have that. Can you hear the intrusion in the background?
We can, but it's okay. We'll just live with that.
Okay. Just holler. Yeah.
I feel really lucky that the photographer, Simone, I think it was, who just panned over to you into the choir at the end there. That was just a lucky thing that he happened to have done that. And that it was usable, because it was, to me, that was a really nice revelation to see you at the end, just kind of conducting the choir and closing it so naturally. And the dancers are Susanna, who hopefully will be able to join us really soon, and Seçkin Cinar, who is a beautiful dancer and musician and just all kinds of artist, currently in Vancouver. We had some crazy situations filming this video. I think Adam referenced a little bit of that. She said we overcame the bees. So the thing with the bees was Susanna got stung by 10 wasps.
Oh, yeah.
On the shoot. So we ended up having to deal with, I think we need the mute button back on.
Yeah, I'm going to, sorry, just
now it's hold. Gone. It's okay now.
Okay.
Yeah, so we had to just deal with a lot of unpredictable shifts and happenings. And I had fallen on my face just before this shoot, weeks before. I don't know if you remember, but again, I had a concussion that lasted months. And when we were shooting, I was deep in concussion state. So yeah, it was an interesting experience filming. And then, of course, all of our planning was out the window between the wasps and the concussion. So it took a long time to edit this. I'm so glad it came together.
I just wanted to say something, just going back to the real-time aspect of the videotaping, but also the recording, that, you know, you really wanted this to have a live feeling. We talked about this in one of the earlier conversations, but I think it's really important that that sense of the improvisation and the extemporaneous part of the music making, as well as the composition, was really palpable, really alive by just recording the whole thing, all the entire program, all straight through once, and then going back to do the individual pieces. It just gave this sense of whole of the whole set of compositions, and you can't always do that. But I really congratulate you for sticking to your guns with that. It was a great idea.
Actually, this song was from the run through. This take, was a take from the run through.
Yeah,
there was something about it that felt the truest, I think, and that's why we have the footage, because that's all they shot was the run through.
Yeah.
And there was something really connected. I feel Stefan, also when we played this at the rehearsal, I felt the same way. Just there's this connection that is beautiful and rare, and I so appreciate that with you. There's this real, you know, immediate intimacy in your playing, and so much space and room. I always feel like there's room for me to add to that, and also there's a richness that it can hold its own. And I loved your intro so much. We did a few takes, and every intro was just so beautiful that we ended up using one of the other intros to create a new piece. That's why there are 13 and not 12, because I couldn't give up your intros.
Thank you. It's nice having the space. I mean, and yeah, you have the ears to. I mean, all the musicians. It's an honor to play with the musicians on the record, and having the choir. The choir was on my right, and it was pure energy for me also, you know. It was everyone in the same room, and it's not always the case in the studio, in the recording, you know, especially now in COVID, you need to be in your own space, and you have things around you, and you know, it's harder to improvise. We need to see and to feel each other, you know. As an improviser, it's the main thing, you know. The energy, it's moving around the room. So yeah, it's how I felt during this recording, and having a choir just next to me was very powerful. So thank you for the experience.
Yeah, we count on each other's breath. We rely on it. Yeah, that's a hard thing about this reality that we're in. I feel grateful to have Zoom and other platforms, you know, where we can do so much. I'm actually surprised at how much we can do. Oh, here's Susanna.
Oh,
yay! Yay! So glad you're here, babe.
Thank you. Sorry, I'm so late.
No, it's okay. It's good to have you. We were just talking about how we really rely on each other's breath and improvisation and eye contact and closeness, how important that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and at the same time, I do feel like I'm surprised every time I do a Zoom improv thing, which I've been doing a lot of. I'm always surprised at how much can be done, even though it's obviously not even close to being the same thing.
Yeah. No, I've been. It's not my I haven't done as much musically on Zoom, but I've been doing quite a bit of movement stuff on Zoom. And yeah, it's not my first choice. It would never replace it. I've had to just think of it as another thing.
Yeah.
But I am constantly amazed at what it offers. And there are some gifts I have found. And then some really beautiful ways of thinking about connection in different ways, like something that was passed on to me by a friend of mine, which now I'm using quite a bit when I'm teaching, is to talk about the fact that we're on the same ground. And that's actually not an illusion, it's real. Like, it's a little bit of an extension to think that my floorboards meet your floorboards, but we are actually on the same earth, under the same sky. And so to kind of think about that as ways to bridge the screen. There's some really nice things that have popped up.
That's beautiful. And that we can be in so many geographies.
And time zones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. At the beginning of the broadcast, I told everybody about the next step for the orchard and the new Patreon community we're starting. And I'm excited about it mostly because it is such an international community that's been forming. And I feel that in non-COVID days, it wouldn't have been. It would have been local, and it would have been, maybe it would have been local. And when I tour, you do a workshop here and a concert there, and you meet people, and they do become connected to you. But it's very different that we can actually gather regularly with people from anywhere, and we're all kind of used to it by now and happy for it.
Yeah. International becomes a kind of local in a strange way.
Yeah, exactly. The local becomes more about maybe your mindset, your values, your ideas, your desires, more than your geography in a way, or your language.
It's kind of like rehoming. So we're creating a new home for ourselves.
Rehoming.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. There's some great work happening online. There's no doubt about it. It's just great. I just, I'm not trying to plug other people's work, but I just saw a huge documentary on Twyla Tharp, very current, and she was working with like 5 or 6 dancers all around the world.
Wow.
And it was really interesting to see her process. And at the very end, she wanted to put a green screen behind it and brought in somebody who did a lot of technical directing and that. And he was going, just keep it. And that's exactly, I was like yelling at the screen going, don't change it. I love how extemporaneous it is and in the moment, and that you can see that. And, here comes my hand, but it's just, anyways, it's been a gift. It's been really difficult, and it's also been a gift to figure this out. Yeah,
definitely.
DB, I love that you've brought some plant friends with you.
Yes. Well, this is the flower moon.
It's the flower moon.
Okay.
And it was DB's birthday yesterday too.
Oh, so happy
birthday! We're double flowering it.
Okay. My friends brought me some flowers. So
there's no flowers on this yet. This is my jasmine plant, but there are like some.
Yeah. This is
beginnings of
a very different jasmine plant than the one that I know. Wow, it's beautiful.
Well,
the leaves are really big.
They told me it was a jasmine plant. I don't know.
It looks different than mine.
Maybe it's not. I don't know. But
you will find out when the flowers come.
Yeah. Neat.
Makes me realize like I need a plant in my studio now.
Yeah.
Like hanging plants.
Need life force.
Yeah.
So shall we hear, I would love to hear from Katie Bull, the writer of this beautiful poem. She sent us some words from the Catskills in New York. So let's hear from Katie.
Yep.
Hi, I'm Katie Bull, coming to you from the Hudson River Valley in a beautiful mountaintop in a forest. And just to let you know that I'm grateful to be part of this project, this beautiful project that Ayelet created. And when she asked me to write for her, I instantly came to the image of the pearl moon in the sky over a cornfield down the road from me. And also flashed back more intuitively, not so intellectually, but just in free association, as poetry often does offer us, to the meaning of the moon in my own life symbolically, which has had to do with nurturing self, nurturing energy, moon as maternal, and also moon as a way into deeper levels of feminine wisdom. And we can talk about the gender questions around the word feminine, but archetypally just feminine. So there's a little intellect for you post the writing. The writing itself just came from the imagery. It's just something I love. I love to drive at night and see that beautiful moon in the sky over the cornfield, like an eye, like a cat's eye, like the great eye of the universe. And that's it. That's all I have to say. But I'll share some pictures. I was trying to actually get down to the cornfield and photograph it for you, so you'd see. But it's been raining each night, and the moon comes and goes, and I haven't been able to capture it, which I guess is ultimately really quite beautiful anyway, in and of itself. It can't be captured, but Ayelet has in essence brought the moon and all the moon energy to us so deeply. And so in that sense, it is captured. Okay, here comes some beautiful pictures of the moon that has inspired the poem that inspired my beautiful dear friend, the genius, Ayelet.
Katie is just such a remarkable artist. I hope you all get to know her work, both as a vocalist and as a teacher of various things. She teaches Feldenkrais, and she teaches Fitzmaurice technique, and all kinds of things, and all really deeply and warmly and so beautifully. Thank you so much, Katie, for your words and for your poetry. Susanna, you weren't here when we were watching the video.
Oh, I was in the waiting room, and that was what was strange. I could actually hear the video, and then when I tried to come in the room the first time, I couldn't hear any of you. But I did get to see the video right from the start. Yeah.
Oh, good.
I came in right at the end of Adam's.
Good. Okay.
Offering.
Adam's offering.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I love how, your role in this video. I feel we had this whole kind of sub-narrative imagined when we went out to shoot. And then, of course, it didn't happen. I told them about the wasps.
It was a very dramatic
I'm so glad you're alive, Susanna. I'm glad you're alive to tell the tale.
It would have been a bad moment to realize that I was allergic to.
I know, it would have been really catastrophic.
Wow.
But you're not, thank God.
No.
And it kind of shifted on the editing, on the chopping block. The video shifted and you became the black shadows near the mountain home, I feel. You kind of come in right after that line in the poem. And I just, you know, would love to hear anything you have to say about any of this process or anything else.
Yeah. Wow, it was such a particular time. It was, you know, it was kind of one of the first reconnections with any form of creativity with other people post first lockdown.
The shock of COVID, yeah.
And also for me, because I had that concussion earlier in the year, it had been a very long time. It had been almost a year since I'd done anything remotely like that. So, and
I got my concussion just like weeks before that. And actually, Susanna, you were instrumental in saving my ass.
Well, it's because I looked at you in the eye and I was like, oh, I know what's happening. I know this.
Our first meeting with Seçkin and Susanna and myself was the day after I fell. And of course, I was like, well, I'm still doing it. And I went to the park feeling completely out of it. But, you know, I'm like, no, this is not going to stop me. And by the end of that meeting, Susanna took me by cab to the hospital. So thanks for that.
Oh, no problem.
Thank you for saving me years of agony, probably.
No, but I mean, to go back to the, it was a real, I mean, that's something that there was something really slippery in general about that process, which seemed also, it seemed to go also with the kind of energy I was playing with in the video itself. Like we just had to keep adapting and readapting and, I don't know. I found it was a other than the wasps, it was a very joyous experience. I loved the fact that we traveled from being in a forest that I was not actually, I'd never experienced that forest in Montreal before. So that was a total discovery for me. From there to like a skater park, basically, and to feel the kind of the urban and the natural world and I guess, you know, that's one thing that I feel remained, even though in a very different format, but like from our original discussions about what the narrative might have been for the video. I remember there was this kind of idea of like the moon having come down to Earth and like walking through the city, and how would the moon be in the city? And I feel like in some ways that did happen, just in a very different kind of way than we had originally planned. I love that the image remained in the one near the end where Seçkin and I are standing and he takes off his head and we both take off our mask. I mean, that was also a whole other thing, like the way the masks
right into it.
Yeah, they were the mystery of the mask that we had to wear for health reasons, but then it lent itself to that moon world really well, I thought.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I think the fact that eventually it came together with the studio footage where we were not masked, it's all like this bizarre pre-COVID world. Like Stefan, you were talking about being next to the choir and being all in the same room, 18 musicians in one room. And I just want to mention Seçkin, who is the other dancer in the video, was also in the choir. So he was in the room also when we made the music. And that, you know, that juxtaposition, I think, helped also not make it like a COVID video, but just like the mask was just part of, I guess, kind of like a costume almost.
Yeah, it's how I felt when I saw the video. Yeah. It's a part of it. Yeah.
It felt more organic and kind of like a hiding. The one thing I wish we had shot, and I don't think we even planned to, but just the one thing when editing this I was kind of missing would be to see you from the front after the masks are off. I wish we had that. I wish we had that, because that would have been nice. That would have been a big relief, I feel, if we take the mask off and we actually see your face, because we had that close-up of you before where we see your eyes and we never see your face really.
Yeah. And for that matter, that's nice. But I feel like it would have been also really nice to see both of our faces. I mean, one of the things that I really loved about, I mean, that was my first time meeting Seçkin. I mean, I guess I met him, you know, in the month leading up, and but just also, you know, I loved that there were the two of us that were so different in a number of ways. But we were sharing this in a way, like I felt like we were kind of the same person, or different sides of the same person.
Yeah.
So I feel like it would have been nice to see both of our faces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the full moon in your dream is you, and it just leaves you as this one person who is two people, and that expectation towards what's to come, that I think we all have inside us. We all live with this anticipation of a full moon, and in some moments I feel like we manifest that. We manifest our fullness, but that moment is always fleeting. We always transition back into emptiness and back into some kind of form of fullness. It's we never just become the full moon and just stay there.
Very true.
Yeah.
I think it also is just fine that the faces are not revealed, because it's nice to leave you not knowing. And so I didn't feel like I was cut off from it. But it just would be a different choice for different endings. So I think Ayelet, the collaboration on doing the video and the editing was great. And so thank you for that.
And I love that we get to see the studio and to see you and to see, because you're so expressive when you're singing, and there's so many beautiful meetups and parallels with, because there's a lot about the hands and the arms in different ways for me and Seçkin, but but still in that kind of the gestural world, and how that fit in with you. I really love that.
And I love with Stefan as well. Like, I feel like your hands really play a big part, especially in the beginning when you're just playing on your own. And Seçkin happened to do this kind of a moment gesture where he's raising one hand and holding the other one out, and it kind of looks like he's holding a base, and it's just a random thing he did. He didn't try to reference the base, but it juxtaposed nicely. Darlings, we're almost at 7 o'clock, and Birdie has some things to say. So let's listen to Birdie's month in preview and see what's in store. It's kind of a bumpy month, so hold on. It's going to be...
Hello, I'm Birdie from Four Directions NYC, and I am so happy to be working alongside Ayelet. I contributed some lyrics to this album, and I'm really happy to be sharing my knowledge and wisdom on astrology and Native American mythology every month as it applies and pertains to what's happening. These goals that you have are not as maybe important as what's happening right now, and stay listening to that so that you can adjust. We're back to the Taurus energy on May 11th with this new moon in Taurus, which is going to be a heavy Taurus energy. But it's going to give you a chance to slow down, kind of smell the roses, take a look at things, see how you're feeling, reassess your investments. And by that, I mean just kind of sitting back and seeing where you're at in the timeline of things that you're trying to make happen, and listening to the wisdom of your body and to nature about what's the realistic, foreseeable plan from here. After May 11th, things are going to really be pushing you towards the future and towards unmooring yourself from your routine, and they're going to be not so reflective as they are here. On May 13th, we have one of the biggest adjustments of the year, which is Jupiter moving into Pisces. It's one of I think one of the biggest transitions that can happen in astrology. With Jupiter in Aquarius, you have Jupiter is the planet of abundance. And so in a way, your abundance is kind of hampered under the influence of Aquarius because it's a stringent force and energy. And, just like we're experiencing COVID restrictions and, all of these kind of lockdown energies, Jupiter in Aquarius is really lending towards that. Jupiter in Pisces is kind of like throwing off all the restrictions. It's like being out in the wild seas, and everything coming back to you. It's meant for us to enjoy ourselves and connect and reacquaint ourselves with this feeling of joy and togetherness. But balance, like everything in life. Just keep yourself in check, because, one astrologer said, you're going to want to throw all the chains off right away, and you will with Jupiter and Pisces. But just stay safe, stay grounded, but enjoy yourselves, certainly, under this influence. May 20th, we have the sun moving into Gemini. So just like with Venus moving into Gemini, everything's going to speed up. Gemini is a much more agile energy and is less about the heavy lifting that you're doing during Taurus, and more just about kind of being in the right time at the right place so things line up and happen kinetically, dynamically. So the best advice I can give you is be willing to follow that energy to wherever, even if you're not sure where it's going to lead. Be willing to travel. Be willing to keep an open mind. Meet new people, see new things. And that's how you're going to best navigate yourself throughout the rest of the month. May 23rd, we have a Saturn retrograde in Aquarius. This is just going to give you a chance to reassess your boundaries, which we've been doing for the last couple of years. So if you've been paying attention to your own timeline, this shouldn't be too shocking. What happens here. So take that space to re-examine where maybe you need to put up some boundaries and maybe some need to be relaxed. May 26th, we have a full moon lunar eclipse in Sagittarius, or as the natives call this, the full flower moon. The full flower moon is about abundance, and it's about the spring energy just coming back, bringing us back to life, and everything being in bloom on the earth. With the full moon lunar eclipse in Sagittarius this year, what's going to be highlighted is our sense of adventure, our need to go beyond the norm, and embrace new things, and traveling not just by foot physically, but traveling philosophically in our minds, traveling energetically, being open to something new, a new protocol. If you've been following along, there's been signals of this all along. This is just going to be the big show. So be ready to embrace this energy by, not digging your heels in, but staying open of mind, open of heart, open of spirit, as well as the celebratory aspect of the flower moon. And last but not least, on May 29th, we have Mercury retrograde in its home sign of Gemini. And that, the best advice I can give you about when Mercury is retrograde in its home sign is to allow yourself to really study the mystical, the information of the stars and of the spirit. It's not necessarily a time to get your boots on the ground and make things happen. It's a time to explore and understand these things that we don't always have space or room or time to grasp. That period is going to allow you to do that if you can make time for that. Well, this is a month that's meant to really bring some changes in and allow space for change, and free you from, sort of a stagnant place that you might have been in, or train of thought that you might have been in. So the best approach is open mind, open heart, open spirit. I look forward to hearing about your experience. I'll see you next month.
I had once been a woman. I had once been a human. I had once been made of trees and huckleberries. I had once been a
Happy eating. I'm going from one meeting to the next.
Oh my goodness, the juggle continues.
Mhm.
So I'm bracing for the Mercury in retrograde. It sounds like it's
Yeah.
going to be a big one.
I have to
I'm
say,
not ready.
when she said we should be doing all this reflection up until the 11th, and that's today, I'm like, oh my God, I better go reflect during this meeting, because on the 13th, all hell breaks loose.
No, and the 13th is the good day. That's
Yes.
the good day.
but I gotta do the prep first.
But then the 20th, when was it? The 23rd, I think.
Third, yep.
That's the boundary
It's gonna
day.
hit the fan.
We had a rehearsal.
I'm bracing for action.
We
Yeah.
had a rehearsal a couple of days ago just to go through this. So I saw it, and I had my notes just as we began today, and all my notes were about Birdie's piece and all the dates. So yeah, you're totally right.
Stefan, I was so relieved that our gig is before then.
Yeah.
I was like, that would be bad. Even
Yeah.
though we're going to be in the shadows.
Yeah.
Well, this is also just a huge shout out for Victo.
Yes.
I'm so sorry that I can't be there, but we just didn't know in advance where we would be at with vaccinations
And
and
it's a
all
good
that
thing.
stuff.
It's a good thing we didn't plan on you being here, because I don't think it would have been possible.
No,
I don't think it's allowed right now to travel between
no.
different areas in Canada.
Yeah.
So, but I'm glad it's happening.
Yeah.
I was constantly kind of preparing myself for the possibility that it would get canceled, and not to put too much heart energy on it. But then it's like we did a rehearsal and it felt so real. It was so nice to to play. It was so nice. And just that feeling of being with other people, with other live musicians in the room, and now I'm excited. I'm really excited.
Me too. Yeah.
I hope it doesn't get canceled in the last minute. No massive outbreaks. You know?
Yes.
COVID, keep it together. We need this gig. Afterwards, on the 23rd, we'll be ready for you. For the next lockdown or something.
No, please.
Well, I will say to that performance, santé.
Merci.
And please say hello to everybody at Victo from me. Yeah.
We will.
Yeah.
Sending you all love out there also listening to us. Thank you for being with us and commenting. And thank you, Susanna, and thank you, Stefan, and thank you, DB.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Such a fun time to be with you all. And we'll continue next month on January. Where am I? June 10th. June 10th. And we're going to be with the song called Patience, which is such an important song for this time. And we'll be with Katie Bull will be our guest actually next time. And Eylem Basaldi, the violinist, the beautiful violinist. And she's going to talk a little bit about Turkish makams and different things. So I'm super excited for that. And again, thank you. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Happy flower moon.
Yeah, happy flower moon.
Yeah. Here we go.